Hello everyone, welcome back to Luke's Movie Talk, where I go over some of the most recent movies I've been watching. And for this video I'll be looking at the new Marvel movie, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. But just before I get into that, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to keep up to date with all future uploads. Okay, so let's get into the plot of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. At the start, T'Challa dies off screen by some unknown cause, and nobody can save him, not even Shuri. So this is their way of explaining why Chadwick Boseman isn't in the film, obviously. So they have him die off screen, and they kind of make it a believable reason. The whole of Wakanda has a funeral service, and then the Queen and Shuri have a private ceremony. So they have this really nice, it's probably a vibranium casket where they have it privately in the forest and say goodbye to T'Challa. A year later, the world wants Wakanda to start sharing vibranium with everyone. Queen Ramonda tells the countries of the UN of an attack on a Wakandan outreach centre where they were looking for vibranium. So basically this probably mercenary group came in, tried to take vibranium, and then the Dora Milaje took them all out, and they brought them in front of the UN and basically said, we're not going to get mucked around, we are going to do what we want, if you treat us badly, we're just going to fight back. We are protected. Even though Black Panther isn't here, Wakanda is protected. Back in Wakanda, the Queen and Shuri have a small service for T'Challa, but are interrupted by Namor walking out of a lake. Countries have started searching the world for other sources of vibranium, including the ocean, and Namor and his people hold Wakanda responsible for this. So Namor basically says, since T'Challa made everyone aware of Wakanda and how advanced they are and the use of vibranium, he's basically saying this is Wakanda's fault and they need to take responsibility. Namor wants them to bring the scientist who created the vibranium detector to kill them, or they will destroy Wakanda. So basically, they've got no choice in that matter because they walk in undetected into their country and have no idea how strong they are, and by the looks of it, it could be a difficult fight. With the help of Ross, Shuri and Okoye find the scientist, a 19-year-old college student, Riri Williams. Shuri and Okoye track Riri down, but are chased by police, with Riri in a prototype Iron Man suit. So this is really cool. She basically says, I've been working on this for years, and when the police get there, she gets in the suit and shoots up out of the roof, and it's a really cool scene in a prototype suit. Eventually, a group of Namor's people attack and take Riri and Shuri. Because of her failure, Okoye is removed as general of the Dora Milaje. So we had a really cool fight scene with Okoye and the people from Talokan. And Okoye put up a really good fight, but the Talokan people are really strong, so Okoye got beaten in the end. Queen Ramonda tracks down Nakia to find Shuri. So basically we find out during the film that Nakia left when T'Challa vanished during the blip, and she didn't come back for the funeral, so she hasn't seen anyone in a long time. Meanwhile, Shuri and Namor talk about his past, his people, and being a mutant, and also his hatred for the surface world. So we find out about Namor's past, how he was born about 400 odd years ago. His people are from a Mayan culture, and they ate this herb or plant that was grown in vibranium soil, and it gave them the ability to breathe underwater but not on land. We find out that when they came back to land, they found out about the Spanish and how they enslaved tons of people in the continent, and basically they came to hate everyone on the surface. Namor shows Shuri Talokan and his people and the reasons he is trying to protect them. So he shows her this great city that has been made. So he created this fake sun to give the people underwater a life that they can live and not feel like they're deep down in the darkness. They've got their whole city underwater. Later, Ramonda contacts Namor. At the same time, Nakia sneaks in and rescues Riri and Shuri. As a result, Namor and Talokan attack Wakanda and flood the streets, and Queen Ramonda ends up drowning. So basically, it's Queen Ramonda and Riri, and they end up getting blown away by a kind of water grenade that blows them all underwater, and she saves Riri, but ends up drowning as a result. The world is becoming very untrusting of Wakanda, and we also find out Ross and Valentina were married, and Valentina is the head of the CIA, I think it was. Before, Namor gave Shuri a bracelet that was made from a special herb grown underwater in vibranium soil. With this bracelet, Shuri is able to make a synthetic version of the purple heart-shaped herb to create a new Black Panther. Shuri tries the new herb and visits the ancestral plane and sees Killmonger. Says she wants vengeance. So basically, she thought that she would see her father, her mother, maybe T'Challa, but she sees, I think it's Eric Killmonger, and basically is like, oh yeah, you want vengeance, so why don't you take it? Shuri gains the powers of the Black Panther and wears a new suit that is very close to what Killmonger's was. It's very much got gold accents all over it. Shuri goes to the Elders and says she has a plan and will attack Namor. Shuri, rewritten in a new Iron Man suit, the Dora Milaje, and all the fighters ambush Namor and his army when the sonic sound speaker on a type of submarine and they fight them. Okoye fights in a new Shuri-made suit called Midnight Angel armor. Shuri takes Namor away from the fight to a desert area. So basically they find out that Namor, he takes oxygen in through his normal breathing and also through his skin. So they try and dry him out in the ship so he becomes weakened. Shuri fights Namor, cutting his ankle wings and drying him out to weaken him. Eventually Namor stabs her with a spear, but Shuri recovers and forces him to the floor. He yields and they come to an uneasy alliance to stop the fighting between their people. While he lost, Namor assures his people that one day their time will come. Okoye frees and imprisons Ross near the end. Shuri visits Nakia and finally mourns T'Challa. And then the post-credit scene is Nakia revealing her and T'Challa's son, Toussaint, who she has raised in secret. And his Wakanda name is T'Challa. So this was a nice little end bit just to show that we're going to carry on the legacy of T'Challa. So overall, it was a good film. I had a fun time with it, especially the action scenes they made up for some of the slower parts especially. So as I said, the fighting was great. Namor versus Shuri was awesome. The Riri sections were cool, and Okoye was one of the highlights fighting wise, especially when she had her spear and was fighting the Talocans on the bridge. That was really cool. And when she got her Midnight Angel suit, she just went full out, just cutting people down, knocking them about. It was really cool to see. And when Shuri got her powers, I thought she was a good match for Namor. The action scenes were great, especially the part on the submarine boat. That was really cool with all the Talocan people scaling it and all the Dora Milaje abseiling down to try and fight them. That was really cool. And as a goodbye for T'Challa, the film did a really good job. They did a really good section at the beginning with the Marvel Studios logo. It was all T'Challa. It was really cool to see that remembrance of him, and we had a few little flashbacks as well, so we get the feeling of everyone misses and loves him. So Namor was an interesting character. Obviously he's a very old character. He's like 400 years old, and he's seen a lot of the world, you would imagine. Ross and Valentina's connection was cool. I like to see them connecting slight things. So we've got Ross from the Wakandan storyline and Valentina, who is now connected to that through all of the Thunderbolt characters. Black Panther, the Midnight Angel, and Armor suits were really cool, especially the new one. So Black Panther was very cool, very traditional with the gold. The Midnight Angels were a very interesting design with the blue. I liked it. That was a really different design. And then Ironheart was really cool. I loved red as a colour itself, so it was really awesome to see. And the blasters on her arms were quite cool as well. And then Talocan was visually awesome. I love the overall look of it, especially the way they made the transport. It was like a wind tunnel they used in water to travel around. That was really cool. And the synthetic sun they used, it came out of the tower. It was really cool. I love the overall design of it. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best Marvel film out there. Namor's reasoning and solutions were very short-sighted, so I thought him just going, oh yeah, we'll find this one scientist and kill them, then we'll be fine. But surely he must realise there's a lot of other people that could just copy the design and then just redo it again, so why would killing this one random do anything? And then treating the whole service like they're all evil, he is just making it so much more difficult than it has to be. So why doesn't he trust that Shuri is one of many people that would be willing to help them, and not just everyone's evil? I don't know why he thinks that. Shuri got uncharacteristically angry and violent, so through the first film and in Infinity War and Endgame, stuff like that, she was shown to be a very calm and composed, logical character, and she would very much be like, oh yeah, this is what we should do. She would never get over the top. She would stick to the logical reasoning. But in this film, she got very angry and very fighty. She was just trying to kill Namor for a lot of the film, and I get why, but it was very out of character, I thought. And then much of the film was kind of slow and not much was happening, which you can understand with it being a look back at the Black Panther character and country and making it a memory to Chadwick Boseman. But overall, it was a lot slower, so that might not work for a lot of people. But overall, the film was fun. I had a lot of action, especially, and that kind of made me, while the slower parts did bring it down. I thought this was good. It wasn't great, so it probably won't be one of the ones I rewatch as much as others. But overall, I enjoyed the film, and I recommend you give it at least a try. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this film. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to keep up to date with all future episodes. And until next time, I will see you all later.